What's happening around the world? Worldwide. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Worldwide Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, the Texas Silver Rush, Organic Grill, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, Your Core Hardcore fan page. What is up? What is happening? Ain't no denying the fact that they're lying and trying to sell it as truth. That is right. All right. What's happening, Marios? What's happening out in Sunnyside, Queens? What's happening out in Long Island? Better yet, what's happening in Belfast, Northern Ireland? You know what I'm saying? Or in Belgium, for that matter. Yeah. That's right. What's up all around the world? I've been around the world. There you go. Yeah, man. So happy Sunday, everybody. It's nice to see everyone. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun today. You know what I mean? There's enough other crap going around there. Let's have some fun. You know, we talk about this from time to time. This show got started as an alternative to all the bullshit that's out there. We don't get into politics on this show. You know, we don't get into all that. This is when you turn away from that, you come to this. We talk music and we talk, you know, we talk good stuff here and we have a good time with it. That's what this show's all about. What can I tell you? You want to do politics? You know, do it somewhere else, man. I'm not getting involved in that. There you go. Folding laundry. That's my idea of fun. There you go. That said, let's, you know what? Let me tell you about the next show after this. Coming up. I'm coming up. So you better get this party started. All right. Toby Morse is coming up. There you go. This Wednesday. Let me clear the deck here. Toby Morse coming on the show. H2O Hazen Street. You know, straight edge dude. New York hardcore guy. So there you go on that one. After that, a week from today. Hey. Get rid of that banner. Hey, a week from today. What do you say? It's John Connor from Dog Eat Dog, an old friend of ours. This should be cool. I got a lot of history with this guy going back to the Biohazard Dog Eat Dog Downset tour of Europe. So that should be a lot of fun. Tune in for that. And then after that, two more. Then we got AC Slade, right? From Murder Dolls and Dope and Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. And of course, the Misfits. Don't tell anybody, but he plays in the Misfits. So we got AC. Dope flyer, right? Great Steven Messina flyer right there. It's one of my favorites, man. It's a great flyer. And then 75th show coming up. Here we go. Wally's coming on the show. Kind of stoked on this. Walter Schreifels, Gorilla Biscuits, Youth of Today, Quicksand, Rival Schools, Dead Heavens, Scooby Dooby Yabba Dabba, your band here. Walter Schreifels coming on the show. 75th show. How about that? 75th show already, huh? Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're in a global pandemic. You know? Crazy. But that's how it goes. All right. So anyway, what's up with Steven Messina? I'm wondering, are you? What's up with Steven Messina?
What is up with Steven Messina?
What's going on, bro?
It's Sunday.
Yo, Sunday fun day.
Can't beat that, you know?
What were you doing yesterday? I saw some pictures. What were you doing?
Yesterday I went to Camp Crystal Lake in Blairstown, New Jersey. Camp Crystal Lake, you all know where that is and what that's about, but that was the site of Friday the 13th, the original 1980 slasher film, Friday the 13th.
And it's still the location is still there, like
I forget the name of the real camp. It was a real camp that they used the campground for And over the years, they've kept the cabins intact, and they've rebuilt a few things that were run down.
Is it like a? Is it? I don't want to use. Is it like a? Is it a tourist attraction?
Well,
Can you just show up there and walk on the?
Oh no! You have to buy a ticket, and the tickets aren't cheap either.
Yeah, okay, I get it. It's
It's
for guys like you. It's for guys like you and Jimmy Ferrari that are like fanatic about this shit and go, let's go to the place where they farted in Friday the 13th.
Exactly. Shout out to Jimmy Ferrari, Brooklyn Blast Furnace. But yes, it's really cool. And you know what? I mean, for me, you think back to, the original Halloween, the original Friday the 13th, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Mm-hmm. That was big. That was huge stuff when you were a young, impressionable mental case like myself.
Absolutely. So, I saw that you were with a female of the species.
Yes, I was. A very beautiful friend of mine she drove, 2.5 hours, whatever, you went to Blairstown, and we had a blast, it just, we really had, it was really cool. And the amazing thing is you go there and it was like groups of 9 people each.
Right.
And you realize that something I'm into, there are other people that are like absolute fanatical, oh, I could see where they ran down in the camera shot. They shifted the bunk beds from over here to over there. And the people that's like their, they live and breathe it like we do with this music,
Yeah, I see you had, where are these females coming from that you seem to be? Where are you hiding? Don't hide them from me. Where is the nest? Where is the clan of these females that you seem to be associating yourself with? And why are you hiding them from me?
How much for the women? I want to buy them.
All right, let's do photo of the day, man.
Yes.
And stop hiding the women from me. Here we go. Photo of the day, Steven Messina. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom, scalabim. It's the hardcore shutterbug. Wrong answers only, please. Wrong. Yes. Steven is a female magnet, right?
Oh yeah. You see, I'm fighting them off right now.
He kidnaps them. That's. Oh man. Listen.
You don't see all the ether and duct tape on the other side of the tripod here.
Yeah, right. Okay, here we go. Is it Zach Wilde? Is it Bret Hart?
Bret Hart.
Is it Bret Hart a wrestler?
Yes, I think he is.
Is it Andrew WK?
No.
Is it Captain Lou Albano? Good one.
A lot of wrestlers today. A lot of wrestling.
Is it Kerry King when he still had hair? Oh, good one. Mark Tolch. Is it Jason Momoa?
Momoa?
Is it Aquaman?
It's Aquaman.
How cool. Aquaman looks like he's ripping it. Is it Dave Grohl?
These are wrong answers.
Fuck Dave Grohl. Oops,
wow.
Sorry.
You don't like Dave Grohl. Come on.
I like Dave Grohl about as much as Billy Joel. You know what I mean?
It's wow. So it's Grohl and Joel that you don't.
Listen, I'm not here to rank on.
Wow.
Is it Drew Stone in the front with the glasses? Is it Captain Kangaroo? Is it Danny Bonaducci? Okay.
Isn't he a ginger?
Is it Rob Zombie? Okay.
Let's see if anyone give me some right answers now. Come on.
Is it Adam Levine? Is it Ray Capo?
Oh man.
All right. Let me see. How about some right answers? Anybody?
Who's got this one? Come on.
I like this one. Wait. Dude is staring through his soul. Got it. Dude's like staring through his soul.
That music is reaching that guy.
Is it Vaughn Lewis? Good one. Good stuff. Okay, here we go. Is it Goatwhore? Is it Goatwhore?
All right.
Goatwhore.
Yes.
Goatwhore.
My people are out there.
Oh, this is a good one. Is it Paris Mitchell Mayhew? Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, actually, the look of love is in your eyes. Oh shit.
Oh man.
Funny, man. Is it some band I don't give a fuck about?
Oh wow.
Hey Lenny, I hope you're well. I hope you're recovering, man. We know you just had some surgery. All right.
Wow.
Okay. Is it Goatwhore? Goatwhore? Goatwhore?
Yes. Yes.
And let me
Yes.
guess. It's the crazy donkey.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Oh my God. You. All right.
Don't get too comfortable. I did go to other places.
Yeah, I was about to rank on you. Is it Ben from Goatwhore?
Yeah, this is Goatwhore. Yes, it is.
All right, tell us about it.
Okay, we're going to take you now to Brooklyn, October 2017. This is St. Vitus. And the show, I believe, that night was Goatwhore and Toxic Holocaust. Excellent double bill. And Goatwhore, just a phenomenal band from New Orleans. It's like a nice hearty slice of death metal with some Motorhead mixed in for good measure. What? Absolutely love this band live. Just, dark, evil shit. And really, really, really great show. And great. I've never been disappointed by this band. Excellent live band. And that show in particular makes people make that face like that guy is there right there in the corner. Excellent.
Yeah, he's entranced, that dude.
That's it. It's funny. They had shirts. I remember one of their shirts, on the back of the shirt said, "Who needs a God when you've got Satan?" Which was a line from one of their songs. And they also had one of the shirts had an FBS on the back, and which I believe stood for "Fuck by Satan" as well.
All right. So, fantastic.
But right. Great band nonetheless.
Fantastic. Well, that's a good one, man. We had a couple of laughs. Hey, and that's what we're here for. If we can't have a couple of laughs on this Sunday afternoon, Yep. All right, cool. Hey, I'll see you a little bit later in the show.
Absolutely. I'll be
here. All
here.
right, buddy. Thank you. There you go, Stephen Messina, Hardcore Shutterbug. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, Texas Silver Rush, Your Core Hardcore fan page, and Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, which is located in Lakewood, Colorado. It's the Rocky Mountain headquarters for all things punk, hardcore, and metal. Established in 2014, they have the largest selection of records, CDs, shirts, stickers, patches, and accessories between Chicago and Los Angeles. From the pit to the ditch, they got your back. Get in touch with them at www.chainreactionrecords.com. Also, while we're at it, the Texas Silver Rush is a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres. In all of it. We're not limiting ourselves here. All of it. To create and design unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo, photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rollet of Journey. Don't stop believing. Hold on to yourself. Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. It's your mistake. It's your mistake. During this current pandemic, all information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram page, and of course, www.texassilverrush.com. Get to the rest of those later. What else do I gotta let you know? Hey ho, let's go. Gotta let you know. Oh, the merch. How about the New York Hardcore Chronicles merch? I gotta put the link. in the chat room there. Listen, New York Hardcore Chronicles merch. Where are our models? Here we go. Here, how about our fly model Lori Dawn and the New York Hardcore Chronicles New York Hardcore logo leggings. You guys can wear these leggings too, okay? They're not just for girls. If you want to be, you know, if you want to listen, whatever, you want to go wear girls' clothing, go ahead. You know, just whatever. You know, even my Uncle Richie, Arnie Stone's brother. Come on now. Even Uncle Richie. Hold on. Why is that not biting? What's going on here? Even Uncle Richie is on board with the New York Hardcore Chronicles live merch. There's the black on black sweatshirt. Yo, Uncle Richie at 83 is still hard. Yo, you wouldn't believe this. I got to dig out this photo of Uncle Richie. Hold on. You got to see what Uncle Richie back in the day. Uncle Richie would could take on your whole neighborhood. Where's the Uncle Richie picture? Oh, damn. Nah, I can't find it. Damn, I got to dig that up. All right. Uncle Richie could take on your whole neighborhood, your whole generation back in the day. That said, yeah, man, you can wear the leggings on your head, bro. Whatever you want. Whatever you want to do with the leggings, I don't care. Just buy them. whatever. So there's the link. There's lots of stuff. There's the phone case. There's the sweatshirt. There's the hoodie. There's the pillow. You can prop your girl's ass up on it. Whatever. There's the socks. There's the mug. Yo, there's the mug. Who's feeling the mug? So there you go. Put the link up there again. There's the mug. There's the mug, thug. So there you go. That said, let's get that out of the way. Let's clear the deck. Everybody okay? Everybody okay in the chat room? What's up, Upstate Rick? How you doing, buddy? You know, Lori Don. Who's the flyest model of the New York Hardcore Chronicles live merch? You are, Lori Dawn. Bear Bro, what's up, man? Hope you're well, brother. We miss you. We miss you, dude. I know Gene Simmons is going to get jealous of my merch game. Listen, you know what me and Gene Simmons have in common? Anybody? What do Drew Stone and Gene Simmons have in common? All right? Anybody? What do Drew... It's a trivia, rock and roll. What do Drew Stone and Gene Simmons have in common? Okay? Post your answers here. Yo, Bob Riley. Bob Riley, man, you got to figure out your technology because we have to have you on the show, bro. This shit ain't rocket science, bro. Honestly. You know? Yes, we are both Jewish. Correct. But there's more to it. We are both Hebes, but there's more to it. We're both from Queens, New York. Forest Hills. Both from, and you know what, Lenny? And so are you, bro. And so are the Ramones. Yes, Jewish and like ladies from Queens. Yep, both Jewish. Long tongues. My tongue's not that long. Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, enough silliness. Enough silliness here. Let me clear the deck and let's bring our guest on. Super excited today on this Sunday. Shout out Sunday. So let's clear the deck. Heck, let's clear the deck. Here we go. Today's guest is an American actress and musician born and raised in New York City. You know, anybody that's born and raised in New York City, man, you're welcome on this show anytime. She played bass in the New York hardcore band Desolate, guitar in Step Too Far with our boy Frankie Too Far, was a vocalist in Everyone Gets Hurt, is currently the singer in Alekin's Gun, and is also vocalist in Brujeria. As an actress, she is known for her role as Maria Ruiz on the Netflix original series Orange is the New Black. Coming at us from Stockholm, Sweden, please welcome the Crusher, Jessica Pimentel. Hi.
Woo! What's up? How you doing?
Oh,
Thanks
boy.
for that intro.
How are you, hon?
I'm lovely. By a little torchlight, having some tea.
Yeah, I like the ambience over there.
Enjoying my Swedish darkness that's come upon us today. I almost missed you, because the clocks went back an hour here already.
Yep.
So I was like taking my time, and then I realized that something was a little off. So wait a minute. But you guys don't switch your clocks back till like a couple weeks from now.
Yeah. We have a little bit of time. Already it's starting. LaGuardia alumni represent. There you go.
Woo! That's right.
All right. She's gorgeous. Yep. Listen.
Oh, thank you, Dawn. Love you, Dawn.
Yeah, we got a good thing. We have a good thing going here. So all right. So let's jump right into it. What's the latest? What was going on with you when the zombie apocalypse hit? I know you're in Sweden now. Like what's going on?
It was like a surreal nightmare moment, because my guy's from Sweden. He's not an American citizen. We heard that the borders were closing. So first thing, I booked a flight ready to go, and then that flight got canceled. Then we heard the borders were closing on Thursday, so I moved my flight to Wednesday. Then we heard they were closing on Tuesday. I moved my flight to Monday, and then as I'm packing, my flight got canceled. So I'm like booking a flight while I get there, and I just made it into the EU from my connection just after the borders had closed. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be allowed into Sweden, but I did make it with 5 hours to spare, and I've been here ever since St. Patrick's Day.
Wow. Are you do you I mean, I guess there's not a lot happening anyway, as far as, auditions or gigs or anything. You're just sort of cooling your heels, right?
Yeah, there's not much going on because things that were in production had to stop, and things that were like on the burner, things that I had planned, booked or whatever, those got, canceled indefinitely. But what I was able to do, I was able to teach summer camp online, a Shakespeare summer camp for the kids, doing the Zoom meetings every day. Yeah, it was really awesome. Like we're New Yorkers, we're hustlers, we're survivors. We know how to get around things. They say no, we find another way. So I still managed to be able to do some work, do some play readings, do some short films, do some weird, Zoom artistic stuff, and working on music, and yeah, that's it. And hoping things get back to normal soon, but I'm not sure how that's looking.
We're going to get into the Shakespeare stuff. I love that you're into Shakespeare. So your parents are from the Dominican Republic. They came to the States. You were born and raised in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn, correct?
Yes.
And what? Give us a little
Shit.
Stop. Wait.
I got nervous.
No, you're back. Listen.
I was about to start cursing.
If you freeze up, just sign off and come back on. If you freeze up, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not frozen. I'm just thinking.
Yeah. So tell us about growing up in Brooklyn and Cobble Hill and what that was like.
It was awesome. I'm so happy I grew up where I grew up. I grew up in a really mixed neighborhood, and a great time to be alive. You had people that were rich, you had people, the projects, you had all races, all colors, and we basically, whoever lived on your block, on your street, you listened to whatever music was around. So I was exposed to everything really young. I was lucky enough I had good schools close by. There was good places to not go to school close by. Also, if you felt like cutting, it was pretty safe. And yeah, that's it. I think I'm so lucky to grow up in New York. So most people don't understand what it's like. We are exposed to the whole world in our own little neighborhoods, our own little blocks, and we get like the best of everything kind of. And you can do anything whenever you want, wherever you want. It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. And, from just doing my research and stuff, seems like, you pretty much grew up in a single family household. Your mother really must have been a very special person, really.
Yeah, my mom was great. My parents split up when I was about 5-6 years old. So my dad wasn't really in the picture, but my mom was still young. She was going to school. She was working. She'd have a part-time job, a full-time job, and went to school, put herself through college, got her degree in psychology. I also, my grandmother and I also lived together, the three of us, for a long time.
Mhm.
And also I had a great extended family. I had aunts and uncles that would babysit and pick me up from school and all that. So it was, you know, the village. Takes a village to raise a child. So I was very lucky. I had a great, loving, awesome family that you know, helped us get through. But I wouldn't say any more difficult or less difficult than any other parents raising kids. There's going to be problems and you figure it out.
Absolutely. I mean, I have a similar story. My parents split, you know, when I was about that age, and I grew up in New York, and it's part of growing. It's, for a lot of us, it was part of growing up in New York in that era, you know?
Yeah, like I remember when I was real little, it was like your parents are divorced, oh shocker. And then as you got older, it's like your parents are together. That's fucking weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
weird. They like each other still? Like, that's strange. Freak.
So how did music and theater come into your life at an early age?
Music is part of my whole family's life. We all, you know, play instruments and love to sing and all that. When I was really little, my grandmother used to have me learn hymns to sing in front of the church every week, which was always nice, like nice music lesson. I had piano lessons and whatnot as well, like, because we didn't really have summer camps, you know, things. So I had a babysitter who taught piano, so I would learn piano. But then when my mom worked for the Board of Ed, someone had retired and they had, you know, left an office full of stuff. And one of the things they had left was a violin in the office. And they knew that my mom had a young daughter, maybe she would like it, you know, as a toy, because it was pretty much garbage, you know, like forgotten thing. And I loved it. I was screeching on it, trying to pretend, you know, that I played. And it turned out that my next door neighbor was a concert violinist. He heard me, you know, killing that poor instrument, and started giving me lessons when I was about, you know, 3-4 years old. And from then on, I got a scholarship into the Russo School of Music and started playing chamber music, orchestra, classical.
Is it true that you learned Felix Mendelssohn's violin concerto E minor? Like, you had an ear that you actually picked that up?
By ear, yeah. I mean, there was a record store around the corner, and every weekend they would put out records that nobody wanted. So the majority was always classical records. And I remember putting that on, and I was like, I fell in love right away with this piece. So I kind of eked it out as a kid by ear. And I remember like teaching myself a lot of stuff, teaching myself that. But I really learned the Mendelssohn Concerto was my favorite piece. It still is one of my favorite pieces of music.
I listened to it this morning.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's no joke.
Great. It's great.
And I remember going to this after school program, and my mom really wanted me to stick with the violin, but I felt like I was so much ahead. So I would cut the violin class and go across the hall to the brownies, because my mom would never let me do that. That was like a useless kind of thing to her, to be a brownie when I could have like free lessons, right?
And someone ratted me out. For those that don't know, the brownies is sort of like the female version of the Cub Scouts, right? Yeah, it's like.
So I thought it was cool because I was playing and I was doing like arts and crafts, and it was really way more fun. And someone ratted me out and said that I was going to the brownies and not to the violin class. And my mom showed up furious, you know, and she's like, "This is what you're supposed to do. Yes, I put you here so you can, you know, do something productive." And I said, "Well, I already know how to play violin in front of the teacher." And she's like, "Okay, go ahead and show me." And I started playing the Mendelssohn Concerto in E minor. Not very well. I'm not going to say like I came off like some superstar prodigy, but the bones were there, you know. And from there, I got that scholarship to Russo School. So I was able to get music lessons up until I was 16, 17 years old.
And you went to, you went to music. Tell us about, you went to music and art.
Yeah, LaGuardia. I started off as a music major. Yeah, started off as a music major, which I loved. But at that point, I was playing violin so much that I started developing problems in my hands with my nerves and arthritis and stuff like that. I would wake up and my fingers would be numb, my hands would be numb, and I'd bang them against the wall in the morning when I woke up. And it was pretty disheartening because that's, you know, where I thought my life was going, just to be a professional classical musician. That's where I thought I was headed. And then all of a sudden life is like, change of plans. But I really loved the school, and I loved my friends there. I loved the atmosphere. I loved the location where we were. And they said I could stay, but I had to audition for another talent. So LaGuardia is divided into majors. You have art major, music, drama, dance, vocal. So I auditioned for the drama department, and I made it in, and I started taking serious acting lessons then, but I was still able to take music classes when it fit my schedule. I could pop in, I could come in during lunch, I could still take theory classes, I could still, rent out a room just like we rent out studios to rehearse. I could still rent out a room and practice or jam with friends. So I didn't lose anything, I just gained something else.
And for those out there around the world that may not know it, the high school you went to was the high school that was featured in the movie Fame.
I want to live forever.
Let's start that.
Remember.
Oh, here we go.
Remember. I want to do the dance. Remember. Well, we all know that show.
yeah, and the movie. The movie,
show and the movie.
My friend Leslie Quigley was in the movie too. That was a big deal. Here we go. Everybody's chiming in now. Fame.
Okay. I'm gonna live forever.
But that environment, that's an exciting environment for a young teenager to be in New York City, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a creative kid. If you're a creative kid, you're encouraged to be creative, which not many schools do. They focus so much on the academics, but we're not all built the same. We don't all think the same. We don't all love the same thing. So they go into this machinery of the school system, and you might fail in math, but you're a genius in something else. Yeah. At least in New York, we were able kind of to decide what we were interested in and go for it. And if you made it, you made it. Just like the movie, you're gonna pay in sweat. Here's where you start paying.
So acting starts coming to the forefront, and you get out there, and I love the Shakespeare bit. I think as a young teenager, you went out on a touring production of Romeo and Juliet. You were Juliet, is that right?
Yes, I was. Yeah, that was about 8 months. Went around all the U.S., went to all kinds of different towns and schools. We had adapted Shakespeare for young people. So we had a really exciting version. We all wore black leather and had, big Matrix style fights and stuff like that. It was super exciting. It was like a rock concert. Yeah, we had loud music pumped in, and it was really exciting. And it really, I think a lot of kids were very happy. It changed their mind on what they think Shakespeare is after seeing that production. So so I did that for quite some time, actually.
So things start moving forward sort of simultaneously, right? You're acting, you're going to auditions, you're starting to get parts, and at the same time, you're sort of immersed in the New York hardcore scene.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
That was started from first show at Wetlands. I think I was 14 or 15 years old, and I forget which bands were playing, maybe 13 Stitches and Sweet Diesel or something like that was playing, and got into the pit for the first time. I got a bloody nose. My friend split his head open, had to go to the hospital. It was instant love automatically. So that's something that was just always a release. It was a great outlet. It was a lot of fun. You met people from all over the city that weren't from your school, from your neighborhood. You met everyone, and it was really great time, great scene, great time to be in the New York hardcore scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What first hardcore band you were in? How did how did that get rolling?
The first hardcore band I was in was Step Too Far.
Oh, well, you know what? We got to play the Step Too Far clip that Sid the Kid came up with.
Baby Jeff, Just Too Far.
Yeah. Hey, Sid.
Yo,
what's up with this video that you came up with?
It was in the archives for a long time.
Sid the Kid busting shit out of the archives, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Drew, just like how you got to do it, I got to do it.
Listen, don't sweat the technique.
I got to give credit to Matt Jordan from Urban Riot, because I lost it somehow. Mm-hmm. He had a copy of it and uploaded it. So since I own it. I put it up, but big props to Matt for
All right.
preserving that.
Good. All right. Listen, we're going to talk. We're going to bring you back on. We're going to do album of the week with you and me and Jessica in a bit. But let's check out this clip. Let me clear the deck here. Let's check out a little bit of this clip. Now, let's say this clip is at the place at Nightingales.
Nightingales.
Ooh. Man,
one of my favorite shows. One of my favorite shows of all time, man. Just too far, baby.
Yeah.
Hello, Governor.
There you go. All right, let me dig out this clip. Let's watch a little bit of this clip. I'm sure the audio is going to be a mess, but that's okay. So here we go. Good audio.
Excellent audio.
Woo!
Step too far.
Woo!
Took that step too far.
Look at the body on Frankie Too Far. Frankie Too Far, man. Look at that that svelte frame on Frankie Too Far. Wow. Ray B's booked that show, Frankie says. Wow. Cool.
And he shows up later in the set. He grabs the mic at some point.
Is that right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So that's
I believe so.
Nightingales. I think the last time I was in Nightingales was like, someone dragged me in there to see like something like Blues Traveler, and I wanted to fucking kill myself or something.
I believe it. I think they did play there actually.
Yeah.
A lot of obscure bands would come, or like bands that were playing bigger shows would stop off in there like to warm up or whatever. That was a weird place.
Yeah. But all right, so wow. Guitar in Step Too Far, bass, a lot going on. At what point did sort of the acting thing start really pop off? When with the audition for Orange Is the New Black? Is that when sort of things really caught the wind?
I mean, yeah, that's the big break. But what people don't realize is that. Oops, Sammy. Hold on. Let's try this. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, well, she's gone. But hey, you know what? This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, Your Core Hardcore Fan Page. Your Core Hardcore Fan Page is a digital platform aimed at capturing hardcore punk fans in real time and get up-to-date information on what they're doing now. Also, the page is focused on promoting and supporting bands, the venues, and merchandise through the Instagram app on Your Core Hardcore Fan Page. That said, and she's back.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
The acting thing. I mean, after high school, I went to conservatory. I got a degree in theater. I think it was really important for my mom more than me that I get a degree in something. You need a piece of paper.
Yeah, right.
My mom wanted me to get that piece of paper, and I'm so happy I did. I went to a great school where I was able to just immerse myself in that world and that life. And I started working, steadily after that. But what most people don't realize is that overnight success thing takes many years to kind of stick.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Sorry if you hear. Yeah, they're closing in on me. I got to get the show done.
They found you.
Hey, for those They found me. Hey, you know what? Someone just sent me this. Chucky Brown just sent me this. Let me post it up real quick. Yo, the Step Too Far demo from 1995, kid. What's up? All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's
awesome.
But yeah, listen, it's everybody talks about, the big break and overnight sensation. And when it comes to acting and music, man, people put in years of hard work, before they become that overnight sensation.
It took me about 10 years to be an overnight success. That's it. With a lot of bit parts on like Hooker on Law and Order, Hooker on her day off, Hooker in jail, Juliet, another hooker.
Hispanic, prostitute,
Hispanic prostitute, ambiguously brown prostitute,
right.
Crackhead prostitute, retired,
drug dealer's
girlfriend. Then I moved up. Then I knew I was going somewhere because I started to be the drug dealer's girlfriend. I was in Illegal Tender, with John Singleton film.
Right.
I was the drug dealer's girlfriend. I was in Pride and Glory with Colin Farrell, where I was also, again, the drug dealer's girlfriend. Ironically, same guy played the same drug dealer. He was my husband in both movies.
Hey, at least, we know she could do this part. Let's get her back in.
It's like, yeah, they look cute together. Just put them together.
Listen, no one saw that other movie anyway. Bring her back for this one,
Exactly.
Yeah. Latino hookers didn't work. Yep.
And then like theater, like most people don't know, or they don't care, or they're not aware of the theater world. So you're working steadily in theater and people are like, when are you going to do something? You're like, well, I am doing something.
Right.
It's 7 days a week, 10 shows a day, whatever, 2 shows a day, 10 shows a week. So I'm doing something.
Theater's a whole nother world. A lot of people that aren't acclimated to the theater don't realize, like, there's theater people who spend their whole career in the theater and they're working and they're beloved and they have a fan base. People love them. And like, there's a whole,
the average person never hears about them. Exactly.
But if you're acclimated to the theater, wow. Of course, I love her. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Theater's the real deal. Yep.
We have our Broadway superstars, just like we have our hardcore superstars. Not everyone knows about our music. That's our thing. That's our scene. We have our bands that are bigger or smaller, whatever. We have our characters. It's the same thing. It's a whole nother little world that if you're in it, you're in it. If you're not, you're not.
Let's talk about Orange is the New Black. I know I read a little bit about it. What the fuck is going on outside my window? Hold on. Wait, let me switch cameras. Let's see what's going on outside my window. Doesn't look like anything's happening outside my window. Looks like it's pretty calm.
Nothing going on.
Man, the knuckleheads of my neighborhood are carrying on. I don't know. All right.
I had to turn my light. I was going blind because it's like pitch black out here. So I have like the one light and I just can't take it.
I got a light too. You can turn it on. There you go. All right. Now we're even. We're up to speed now. So yeah. Orange is the New Black. I read about the audition, and I also want to say, like, obviously to me, just reading your history a little bit, you must have been very good at auditions. I mean, that's just what my takeaway was. Auditions are not easy. I've done a lot of auditions when I was acting, and there's some people that can't even hack it. Auditions are really stressful and can be really crushing. It's like you go to audition, like I was telling London May, who was on the last show, I'd go to an audition and there'd be like 10 guys that are like better looking, more talented versions of Drew Stone. And I'd be like, yo, it could really just grind you to dust. My takeaway is you were good at auditions. Is that correct?
Yeah, you're good at auditions, but then there comes a point where you just feel like you just keep hitting this wall. Like you get a call back and you'll get a second call back, and then you're just like, thank you. And that's it. And I was at that point when the Orange is the New Black audition came up. I was auditioning for this major show opposite one of my favorite actresses, you know, and they'd called me and they'd called me back and they'd called me back, and I like saw myself getting this role. And I've learned over the years not to get attached to roles, you know.
Yeah.
You work on it as best as you can. You go in, you do the best you can, and then you throw the script in the garbage and forget it ever happened, and let it go. That's it. It's over. But this particular role, because it was a show I liked, because it was opposite an actress that I loved, and it could be like the big breakout role, I really got attached to it. And because they kept calling me back, I felt like I had already started to develop this character. I knew the show, I knew the lingo of the show, I knew the scripts by heart when I came in, you know. And the crowd, like you said, you walk in a room and you think like, oh, there's no one like me, and then you open the door and there's 50 of you that are all equally talented, interchangeable.
Hi gang.
You're like, I need to talk to my dad because everyone looks like you. You're like, oh man, there's nothing special about me or whatever, which is not the case. But the room was getting smaller and smaller, and I could really feel like this is gonna be it. And then they're like, we want to show you, like, producers and directors. And I come in, the room is jam-packed again the next time. And this time it's a rainbow of people. They've completely rewritten the character. They're not sure what they're gonna do with her now. And so I just felt like it was a smack in the face. And it's like you said, it's grinding. It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's constant rejection. It's like constant rejection. And you have to really get a tough skin. And I had to say to myself, you know, do I really want to live my life like this? Putting all this effort, because it's not like work doesn't start on the first day of work. Work starts when you get the audition and you start breaking down the script and you start making a character and you start memorizing the lines, and then think about when you go on a date, you got to get ready. And what am I going to wear? What am I going to wear? How I'm going to look? All the little nerves that happen with that. Plus you're being judged. Plus it's on tape forever. Plus, you know, all these adrenaline factors that really are stressful. And then you get an opportunity that you think is going to be the one, and it's right there. And then someone says, no, you know, sorry, try again next week. And you do this over and over and over. You try again next week over and over. And at that point, I was auditioning for that thing. And I when they said, no, thank you, you were great, but no, I called up my manager and I was like, listen, it was in September and I didn't want to do any more auditions, at least for the rest of the year, for my sanity. You know, I was like, you know what, for my mental health, I'm going to take a break from this, because I'm heartbroken at this point that I haven't booked something in 6 months or a year, because that's how work goes in this field. It goes, you know, peaks and valleys. It comes in waves. You're working every day, then you're not working. Then you know, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go work for Microsoft to be a Microsoft tech. They just sent me a letter. I can do it. I'll have health insurance.
Yeah, right.
I'll have a schedule.
In other words, I'm turning myself into the authorities.
I'm turning myself in. Take me. I'm done. Take me. I'm finished. I'm good. And she said, that's so funny, Jessica. I was about to call you. Remember that computer show that you went up for a few times? I was like, yeah, the one on the computer, because it was Netflix was just starting streaming.
Oh, and back then Netflix got no respect. It was like computer show. You just went on the computer, you ordered your movies, and some dude came on a fucking bicycle and knocked on your door. He's like, here's Splash, you know, here's Nightmare on Elm Street. Here you go, enjoy. Yeah, right.
You know, so it was really so that's what we knew about it. And I think they had one show at that point, House of Cards, but streaming shows was not a thing.
Right.
People were starting to make shows on YouTube and on their own websites. So webisodes, you know, we call it webisodes. Mm-hmm. So I knew it as the computer show. And that's how she referred to it, as the computer show. And at that point, I'd gone in for 4 different characters for the computer show. And I'm like, how many times does she have to see me for this freaking computer show? Because it's going to be like a pay cut, because I'm not going to be able to work in my restaurant shifts. So I know I'm going to be like,
you know what? They're lucky I'm even auditioning to this fucking thing.
And that's how I felt. That's exactly how.
Door giving me any part I fucking want with this fucking computer bullshit.
That's exactly how I felt because we had no idea who was involved. Then we knew Genji was involved. And I had great respect for the casting agent who had kept bringing me in regardless. She felt that I would be a good fit in this project. And I was like, oh, I'm just so tired of this. And all the, like, I could have played a doctor. Now I'm probably going to play a hooker or something. She's like, no, it's not a hooker. Just go on this one last audition. And then we won't do any more auditions for the rest of the year. And I said, fine, fine. But we have to make sure that it's over by 12:30 because I have an appointment at Sephora and it's my birthday and I get a birthday makeover for free and I get free stuff. Because at that point, that was way more important to me than getting a part. I was just doing it out of the courtesy, you know, the final courtesy. And so I get that she's like, okay, fine, 12:30. The part, her name is Maria. And I'm like, oh, my eyes rolled so hard. Her name's Maria. It's like,
and she's in jail. And
she's a Latina in jail, and she's very pregnant. And that's all I knew about Maria. There was no other character description. They had just written her that week.
Oh, God.
There was no character description. She didn't even have her own lines. She actually had lines from another scene that I had tried out for another character before. And I'm like, oh, great. Is her boyfriend a drug dealer too? And my manager goes, well, we don't know that yet.
They haven't written that. They haven't written that far.
We don't know all that yet. There's a chance. We don't know all that yet. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Of course.
She said, fine, okay, 12:30, and I show up, or 12 o'clock was the appointment. The casting agent is late, and it's like 12:10, 12:15. I'm like, this bitch is gonna make me miss my Sephora appointment. And when she walked in, she's like, hi, I'm late. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. And that was like, the character was born in that moment.
Nice.
Because she's like, you know, I'm like, oh, you want stereotype? I'll give you a stereotype. Can we start now? Okay, let's go. And I just gave her that New York, you know, Latina attitude that she desired. And it was great. And she called me the next day. I got the part and I started working that Friday.
That is awesome. It's amazing how things, you know, work out sometimes. You know, it's crazy when sometimes with things like that, you know, and
it's like sometimes you just have to let go and give it up and just don't try so hard. And then there you go.
It's almost like the person that got into the car accident but was sleeping, and since their body was limp, since, you know, they didn't tense up, it's like it's like your body's limp. You didn't really get hurt. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
You're
just like, I don't care anymore.
Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't care anymore. And she said something at the end of the audition. She said, Jess, you were awesome. And I said, you always say that. And I almost said, but I didn't. But you never pick me. I almost said that, and I stopped myself because it's not her fault. It's just like, that's just the way things work. And I'm glad I didn't say that, because maybe she wouldn't have picked me if I said that. She would have been like, okay, bitch, bye.
And here's a question from Ann Mays, in Antwerp. Did you get to Sephora on time?
They waited for me. I got my makeover. They gave me free samples for my birthday. I got a little clap. It was beautiful. And then I went home sleeping well, knowing that I wasn't going to do any more auditions for at least the end of the year.
That's exciting. Hey, you know what? We have a friend of ours wants to come and say hello. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You know him, you love him, Michael Alago.
Yay!
Hello, you two.
Happy belated, Michael.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
I hope you spent it well.
Lovely to see you here. What a fucking great interview you are. Oh my God. Fantastic.
Stop it, Michael.
I had dinner with my friend Carol. I turned 60. You know, October for me is an auspicious month. I turned 61 on the 13th. And then 4 days ago on the 21st, I had 13 years clean and sober. So moving right along, everything is good. Everything's real good.
That's awesome. It's so good to see you on here. I miss you.
Same here. So if you're going to be over there for a period of time, we're going to have to start doing this together.
Yes, absolutely.
And address so I can send you a copy of my book and 2 T-shirts.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to get it. I can't wait.
How
How did you guys meet up back in the day?
No, there's not back in the day, really.
No?
No, back in a couple of days.
A couple of days ago. I mean, was it backstage at Slayer?
I think it was backstage at Slayer where Mr. Messina took the picture. Was it there? No, not before that. Before that, that was at MSG, the theater, when Behemoth opened for them. That's where we met.
Well, Slayer was definitely involved a few times.
Slayer was definitely involved. It was like 16 or 17, something like that, or 8. I don't know.
It's only been that we know each other a good, solid, lovely 2 years.
Okay.
2 years, so 18,
Yeah.
18, September.
Sure. I'm gonna go with that.
You gotta get the story straight, Michael.
Oh my God, not with this scatterbrain.
Hey, I want to do something with you guys. All right, let's do this together. Okay. Let's bring on Sid the Kid. What's up, Sid?
Boom.
All right, don't be over dramatic here, Sid. We're gonna do this together. Sid does album of the week, and we're gonna do album of the week together. So here we go. Sid the Kid, DJ Sid the Kid. We're all gonna chime in on this after Sid kind of gives us the history. Here we go. Record of the week. Boom. There you go. All right, Sid, tell us about it.
Alrighty, guys. So, of course, having such a brutal guest on here, it was only fitting that I had to pick this for this week. Obviously, as you can see right there, this is the Rain and Blood LP by Slayer that came out, I believe, in October 7th, 1986. So basically, quite a damn long time. This was recorded over at Hit City West in Studios in Los Angeles, California. Honestly, just I could straight off, if you know this record, you know what the first track is all about. Due to the lyrical content, subject matter, which refers to the Holocaust and a lot of that stuff, they actually had to push the release date because of that. But the band persevered, saying we're not going to change the lyrical content for your bullshit, and here we are. The record itself really was recorded. It received quite a few obvious good things about the record from fans and critics alike. Even around that time when Anthrax's Among the Living, Megadeth's Peace Sells, and Metallica's Master of Puppets were out around the same time, to me, Slayer definitely pushed that button and really just put thrash metal more so on the map, even though the three bands I named previously were there. But I feel that Slayer itself, when this record came out, coming out on Def Jam, even being, on Def Jam was like, what the fuck is this metal shit? People weren't hip to it at the time, but, it took a little bit of time for it to come out. And even though that record came out in 86, I believe in November 92, it finally went gold and peaked at 92 on the Billboard 200. And one thing I didn't know about this, and I know some of the old school people will know this, just around the recording of this record, Dave Lombardo actually quit the band just around the time when it got released.
Yeah, Tony Scaglione played drums on the tour.
Yep, New York hardcore figure right there. There's a little bit of New York hardcore in that, and in there, that little connection too. Even for this, for a 10-track record, 29 minutes from side.
29 minutes. Is
29 minutes. It's the same thing on both sides, right? That's how old I am. Both sides, baby.
Of course.
All right.
29 minutes of sheer extreme perfection.
All right. So Jess, let's start with you. Your history with this, was this an influence? Tell us a little bit about this record.
Huge influence. Actually, they were an influence before I even knew that they were a band. I had a really awesome... Stop texting me, guys.
Now you know what it's like when Drew gets those calls.
I had a next door neighbor, this really cool couple, the rock and roll couple that lived next door, and they'd broken up, Stephanie and Matt. And she left a box of stuff outside my door. It's like cool stuff for Jessica. I was about 12 years old. And one of the things in there was the Slayer Spill the Blood t-shirt. So at that time, my mom was like, oh, look, she left your t-shirt with Merlin the magician. My mom does not talk like that at all, by the way. That's just my imaginary way my mom talks. But it's like, oh, it's Merlin. It's so nice. And I was like, yes, Slayer, like the dragons. Yeah, that's what I thought,
Ooh.
And never bothered to read the back ever. And it used to fit me like a nightgown. and I wore it. I still have it. It's basically see-through at this point, but I wore it over the years, and like a sleeve would fall off or a hole would rip or whatever. I used it when I was in college learning fencing for Shakespeare. Spill the blood to get in the mood. But it was when I was about 14 or 15 that I heard Slayer for the first time. And I knew that I was immediately going to hell at that point.
Excellent.
And it was this album, it was Rain and Blood, and it's Altar of Sacrifice, when the line comes like, learn the sacred words of praise, hail Satan. I was like, uh-oh, I've gone too far.
Right.
To me, just those last two tracks, post-mortem going into Rain and Blood, that is like an amazing ending to this record, and you never forget it.
At that point, when I got to those last two tracks, I was just waiting for Satan to come and take me from my room. So I was like, the first time I heard them, I was just shaking. I was just so scared at that point.
Alago.
Yes.
A little bit on this record, and also I know this is something that I know we've talked about many times when we've screened the film, and was there any point where I know it's come up because people have asked anyone you regret not signing, and Slayer kind of comes up. Can you give me a little take on just your history in Slayer?
Oh, sure. I have no regrets in my life. I don't like the word. But it's 1986. I just had put out Master of Puppets on Elektra Records. Those other records that Sid was just talking about, I think was like maybe Testament and Anthrax. Those were heavy records. But this was the most extreme album that I think I started listening to when it came out. I also went to the tour High on Ecstasy at Roseland. And I was in friggin' heaven when at the end, they did their show, but the last bit of their show was the entire record, which is the 29 minutes. And it actually starts raining blood at the end of the show. So, as an A&R executive, you can't have everyone in your life because it just doesn't work that way. But it was a wish, and I have so much respect for them that, sure, there was somebody that I wish I could have worked with at Elektra or at Geffen. It just didn't happen that way. But no regrets or anything like that.
Yeah. All right. I got to say, for me, this record, when this came out, I hated this shit.
Oh,
I was a New York hardcore guy, and like this shit was corny to me at the time. I was in New York. I was a New York kid. I was a skinhead. I was into hardcore stuff. Maybe some early hip hop stuff because I was going to high school. Up at JFK High School in the Bronx. And when this shit came out, I was like, this shit is corny. I hated Slayer. I couldn't stand Slayer, Metallica, any of that shit for years. Eventually, I certainly, especially Slayer, seeing Slayer live really kind of turned me. When I saw Slayer, live, they couldn't be denied. They were an incredible force of nature. When I finally saw them live, I had to double back and give them the respect that they deserved.
It's wild. I've seen them many, many times. And there are certain bands that we all love and go see live that, for me, they can do no wrong live.
You love them.
It's pummeling, but it's something that I relate to. I love what it does to the inside of my friggin' brain. I think in all of the years that I have gone to concerts, I have never worn plugs in my ears. And I don't think I have ever heard a bad Slayer performance. I mean, I'm in love with them. Of all the bands that I did not work with. That's it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, even and for a lot of people, if you kind of think about it too, when Master of Puppets, all these other albums came out, it was kind of the same.
Oh yeah.
Where Slayer's guitar playing was slightly different, a little off timing on it, and it had that crunch. That's something. I mean, not too many could kind of pick up on that, but I did, and it was definitely something different. And also, just for the simple fact that Jeff and Dave, way back in the day, I'm telling you, they fucking love New York hardcore.
Love
Even
hardcore.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Of course.
video on the internet, you could find them rocking an old school. Jeff's wearing an old school red screen AF
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
And they do all the covers. They do that
Yeah, I
cover
mean, but
album where they do Minor
This is
Threat.
yeah,
They do.
fire, where a lot of the hardcore kids were like, bagging on them so hard. Those two love punk rock. They love hardcore, and they didn't give a fuck. And then that, for me, also, when I saw that video way back in the day, I had even more respect for that band.
Of
Here you go,
course. Do your
our
own
friend,
thing.
like our good friend Bob Riley says, they suffered with bad production the first couple of releases, but live they pounded.
Oh yeah, and Bob's
Yeah, I think
correct.
that's true.
Yeah.
He's correct on that. He's not wrong.
It's so funny. Yesterday, out of the blue, I went into my mailbox and somebody mailed me this picture.
Wow.
Oh,
No,
wow.
no reason or anything. And I was like, right on. It's by a guy named Chad Lee. And my friend Tracy sent it to me. So thank you, Tracy. And it's fabulous. So this week, I'm going to get an 8x10 frame and frame the mother.
Oh, yeah,
Jeff
that's
Hanneman.
awesome.
Rest in paradise. We love you, Jeff.
Absolutely. Rest in peace, Jeff Hanneman.
Yes,
Sid,
sir.
good
Yeah,
job,
absolutely.
man. Thank you.
Drew, you forgot two things before we
Oh,
go.
yeah. Okay, hold it.
My
Hold
ticker and the other thing.
I know. All right. Hold on. I'm sorry, Sid. Let me
Is
give.
this a private joke? Should I leave you guys? I don't know.
No,
Your
it's
ticker
a
and the
joke that
other
everybody-
thing.
It's a joke that everybody knows on here, Just. It's kind of like I have to bust his
All right,
balls.
Sid the Kid has his
Okay.
show. Sid the Kid show's coming up after this show. Sid, I see you ramping up your game a little bit.
Yeah, because a few inspirational things here, guys. So, like I said, honestly, we're going through this shit worldwide. No shows, no nothing. But at least, I'm trying to help out, in my take on it. I'm going to have Ron from the vocalist from Final Conflict, bassist from Lower Class Brats. Also heads up Crawl Space Booking for a lot of those people in Europe. He brings a lot of those bands over. And, of course, he's the reason why Coxbar comes to America. He's the one who books them here. So, it's just, a little take on that. If you guys aren't doing nothing Wednesday night, 7 p.m. New York time, feel free to come check it out. I'll also be doing it on, I'll be doing the interview as well on Instagram Live if you just want to see that. But overall, hey, I try to appeal to, the radio show and people on IG. I try to at least cover two platforms.
You know what, Sid? I respect your hustle.
Hey, Drew, it's a New York thing. All four of us here know this.
I'm not. Whoa.
Same day as Sid's
Listen.
show. Same day as Sid's show is my show on Give Me Radio, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Come check it out. We just launched a hardcore station on GiveMeRadio.com. Michael's been on it, definitely. He has his own thing on there too. So yeah, hustling hustles.
Absolutely. Sid, we'll talk to you later, buddy. Thank you.
All right, that's all, guys.
Nice to see you, Sid.
We got room for everybody on the boat here,
Yes, sir.
Of course.
No, I love, Sid. Sid does hard work. On this show, we love him. You never wore earplugs, Michael Lago,
No.
and you have no trouble with your hearing.
Yes.
See what
Well,
I
two things.
got fitted for?
I do have fitted ones, hun.
No. These are hearing aids, man. I'm losing my hearing.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, darling. So
Oh,
yes,
no.
the first time
Party's over.
first time my ears got a little effed up was I went to see the Plasmatics at Bonds, and of course I had to be in the front. So I made my way through a sold-out crowd, and I hung on to the stage for dear life. And this ear was in the Marshall amp for 90 minutes.
Oh man.
I never recovered. I don't care. Only recently, maybe this past year, and I know people say it two ways. Drew, is it tinnitus or tinnitus?
Yeah, tinnitus.
I have a little bit of tinnitus. Do I
Yeah.
wear anything when I go to concerts? No. I still want the full on.
Same. I'm the same. It's
Thank you.
terrible, but I'm exactly the same.
Yes.
I'm
I
really-
hate it. I hate earplugs. I hate them.
I am really going deaf.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I went through the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
I got tested. I went through the whole thing. I'm losing it, and I now have hearing aids. And not that I've been wearing them, because I haven't. Actually, I'm sort of like, most things in this world I don't really want to hear anyway. So it's sort of
Exactly. See, I don't feel like I'm going deaf. I don't feel like I'm going deaf. I just feel like I have more patience for stupid shit. Doesn't bother me anymore because I don't hear it anymore.
If it's not important, if I don't hear it, it can't be that important.
Oh,
No.
hey, Charlie Crespo, how are you, darling?
Yeah, we love Charlie.
Nice to see
Charlie,
you here.
Charlie, great guy. Hey, I have Brendan from SFA, who was a former worker at CBGB's, just sent me this picture.
Blackmail.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Yep. He said
Beautiful.
that was right when CBGB's closed. I guess it was the last night. Does that make sense? Yes, you remember that?
The last night of CB's, Drew, was October 15th, 2006.
And who played? And who played last?
Well, Patti Smith.
That's right. Patti
That's
Smith
right.
was the last.
I was
last
hanging
performer.
out. I was hanging out outside with David Peel. People who know him from the 60s. He made a record for Elektra called Marijuana. And I was with Danny Fields, who managed the Stooges and discovered the MC5 and the Ramones. And we were standing outside talking to the marvelous Jim Carroll, Catholic boy.
Wow.
People die. Yeah. So it was a whole bunch of us out there having a great time, and Arturo Vega. And it was marvelous.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And if you look on that picture I have on my arms, never forget, I think it was like a 9/11 benefit, that particular show.
Is that
But
right?
for people that see me perform now and know that I write stuff on my arms, that's something I've been doing for over 20 years. That's not like a new thing. It's something that I've been doing for as long as I can remember when I perform.
You know what, Jess? I didn't post this picture. I see it now. I have to post it. So this is
And I'm done.
this is you know there's nothing written on your arms here, but obviously this is the start of your musical journey. That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's really awesome. You know.
Yeah, the Russian School of Music. That's Zoya Bologovsky, one of my favorite teachers I ever had. She was awesome, and she gave me my first perfume, Magnolia. I'll never forget it. So I love redheads.
Do you ever play violin anymore?
I love
Yeah,
redheads,
yeah.
but for different reasons.
Yeah, I do. I actually came out of retirement and did a guest track with this band called Valhalla from Sweden. They are a kind of dark electronic goth band, electro witch house kind of dark wave band. So I did a little recording with them, and I was lucky enough to jump on stage and crash a Souls to Fear set with a violin at Gramercy Theater, a sold out house, which is great. And I do still play for my own amusement and enjoyment, and if I feel I want to share it, then I will. But yeah, I still play.
Fantastic. Hey, Alago, thanks for stopping by. We love you.
Thank you very much, Jessica, my love. Great to see you.
Great
Drew,
to see you, Michael.
You too. I'm gonna. I think I have a podcast I have to do tonight, and
Hustle.
honey,
Hey, what about your book? Hey, pitch your book real quick on the way out.
I have a book out called I Am Michael Alago, Breathing Music, Signing Metallica, Beating Death. I've been promoting the heck out of it in this pandemic. And you know what? I sold a few small, couple thousand books. I was shocked. But I thank God people are out there paying attention and purchasing stuff. So
your story is amazing, and your life story in and of itself is amazing. But what you've done for so many other people, you've given us this gift of music that lasts, forever. So your ideas, your life influence lives of millions of people that you may never even hear of or meet, and they may never even know. But it's because of you that so many people's lives have been changed. And now that you continue to tell your story, even more people will be changed. So thank you.
I was behind.
Don't make him cry.
No cry.
He's a crier. He's a big crier, this one.
Hush.
I'm worse.
Oh, good. I was behind the scenes for 25 or so years. And then one day, this one here, our fearless leader, Drew Stone, said, I want to make a movie about you. And you know what? We have had such wild success with Who the F Is That Guy? The Fabulous Journey.
It's a great fucking movie. It's so well done. It's so entertaining.
And we got all the artists to come in and say stuff. And it was on Netflix for 3 years. And it's now on, it's not there anymore, but it's on Amazon Prime. And you could rent it on YouTube. I love both of you. Have a great Sunday. I'll see y'all soon. Thank you for having me.
Love you, Michael. See you soon. Love you, Michael.
Right on.
Well, there you go, huh?
He's so awesome. I love him. He's
Yeah,
great. What a
listen.
great person.
You know, I spent 3 solid years of my life with that guy making this
Yeah.
film. You know, it was
And it's a great movie. I mean, okay, just get rid of all the music. Let's say you don't care about hardcore, you don't care about metal, you don't care about who the fuck this guy is.
Yep.
The film in and of itself is just so well done and so entertaining that I was able to show it to people who
Yep.
don't care about this guy, don't care about the music, don't care about New York hardcore or metal or any of that. It was just so, you know, really well done.
Thank you. I'm really proud of it. You know, I've done a bunch of things, but I'm very proud of that film. And it looks like we're about to. I can't give it away now, but we're about to do something in a couple of months with the film again. It looks like it's gonna go through another cycle and get back out there again on a couple of big platforms. So
Awesome.
you know,
Awesome.
I'm just really. Yeah, that film's been great. So that said, what is the name of the movie? The name of the movie is Who the Fuck Is That Guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Alago. And actually, you know what? Actually, I have these. If you have Amazon Prime, let me clear the deck here before we get back to our regularly scheduled programming. I hope you don't mind. If you have Amazon Prime, I have 4 movies on Amazon Prime right now, including Who the Fuck Is That Guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Alago, the New York Hardcore Chronicles film, XXX All Ages XXX, the Boston Hardcore film, and the New York Hardcore Chronicles film 1.5, which is on Amazon, not Amazon Prime. These are 4 films that I have on Amazon right now. If you have Amazon Prime and you're looking to watch something, watch one of my films. I'd appreciate it. I'm proud of all my work. So
they're all great.
So there you go. That said,
that's my unpaid for review. They're all great. They're all really entertaining, and you really feel like you know these people. You know, loved it.
Loved it.
5 stars. No, they're all great, and they really just show a great side of why we love what we love and why we do what we do. People don't get it, and I think if you watch this, you'll really get it. You'll understand who we are, where we came from.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, film and music has been my life. My father was a film director. My brother's a film director. My uncle Richie was an editor. You know, I did acting as a kid, and you know, I went to Emerson College and studied acting before I got into hardcore. So, you know, we have trod similar paths, you and I, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. I want to just on this one more time, just a last word on this.
I'm nervous every time you do this.
Yeah, no. So after 7 seasons, right, the show comes to an end. Your feelings about that?
It was time to let these girls rest because we had been through a lot, and I think we left all the characters in really great places. They were not all happy endings, as is life. But it's emotionally draining to be on a show like that, you know, and keep coming up with new ways to fuck people up, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's essentially the story. Every time it seemed that someone was, you know, gonna get out, something happened and they were back in, or every time it seemed like someone was having a change of heart, something would go wrong. And even as an actor, you know, it's hard to keep doing that year after year after year. So I think the writers and producers, they found a way to have all these stories come to a believable, realistic, and like fair conclusion for all of their lives. And there are some that you can still kind of dream about. We lost a few along the way, as is life. And you'll just always, I think a lot of fans will always be rooting for their characters, even if they constantly fuck up, just like our own friends and family. You know, you're gonna have people that you always root for.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy, at least where Maria left off. I'm happy with where the show left off. It just brought that level of humanity to something that we don't really think about that often. And we are so used to these stats and numbers and figures and ideas that we have from movies. And this was the first time I think people women, especially in prison, were portrayed in a real fashion, not over the top, not it was very, very meaningful to work on this project, and I'm happy I was able to be a part of it, and I'm happy that we left off where we left off, because then you don't want it to get to a soap opera type thing where you're just trying to come up with more crazy schemes. I think everyone left off very well.
Yeah, and just in my observation as a filmmaker, with a lot of these type of shows like The Walking Dead or Ray Donovan, I personally have a belief that I think things sort of peak out at about 5 seasons, and when it starts getting beyond 5 seasons, they sort of start really reaching and rehashing stuff, and it gets more difficult. That's why I think a lot of these shows that go on an exorbitant amount of time end up really sort of falling off.
Yeah, they get stale, you get over. It's like you turn on the TV the other day, Walking Dead was on, and you're like, still? Yep. Like, is this still on? I mean, it's still great. I think that show's still great. But sometimes it just feels like there's a time to let it go. And we had hit that time. It was the right time. I think everyone felt that it was time to let it go.
Here's a question that's kind of going in our chat room, but they sort of answered it for themselves. Isn't the uniform just like wearing scrubs? I only asked because scrubs are super comfortable. This is coming from a healthcare worker, but then I guess everybody's kind of going back and forth that these aren't scrubs.
They're dickies. They're not nice and soft like scrubs. They're really like rough. But I mean, still, usually as an actress, you're like, oh God, I have to shoot. I have to make sure I go to the gym and work out and make sure everything is whatever. We were in our pajamas basically for 7 years. So I really can't complain. They were slightly rough material because they're dickies, but at the same time, it was really the most comfortable outfit I have ever worn to work in my life.
Right.
I could not complain about that, for real.
Right on. Hey, let me shout out some sponsors, and we'll come back and we'll take some questions, and we'll go at it for a bit more, huh?
Great.
Okay, hon. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, The Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, and Your Core Hardcore fan page. The Organic Grill is a vegan restaurant located in East Village of New York City at 123 First Avenue, featured in New York Magazine, the New York Times, and Veg News. Their dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Veggie Burger. They make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties, and every dish on the menu could be made gluten-free for all you gluten-free motherfuckers. This year, they are celebrating their 20th anniversary. They're all about having a great time while enjoying amazing clean food. After 3 months of being closed, they're now open for deliveries. Get in touch with them and order some great food at www.theorganicgrill.com. We love Vlad. We love Organic Grill. Also, New York Hardcore Comics, our boys, Lee and Debo the Pro. Love these guys. These guys were my first sponsors to jump onto the show. Can't say enough good things about them. New York Hardcore Comics opened back in 2013 when lifelong friends Debo the Pro and Lee Fairley combined their collections and obsessions for comic books, punk rock, toys and statues, Magic the Gathering, and all things horror. The store is located at 117 Main Street in lovely Dobbs Ferry, New York. If you want to support them during this pandemic, please contact them via email at newyorkhardcorecomics@gmail.com or any social media channel for an exclusive store package. There you go on that. Also, want to mention a couple shows coming up. Wednesday, November 11th, we have Martin Atkins from Public Image, Ministry, Killing Joke, and 9 Inch Nails coming on the show. This guy has an incredible resume and incredible history. Super stoked to have him on. Also, after that, in keeping with the Latino flavor here, we got Il Nino coming on. Our boys Laz and Dave Chevalier. Il Nino, they're about to drop some new material. They have a new singer, kind of reinvented themselves a little bit. Laz Pina is an old friend of mine. I go way back with this dude and his family. Like, even beyond this music thing, I go way back with him and his family. So this should be a really great show. Also, you hear it here first. You asked for it, you got it. People say, yo, Drew Stone, we love the old school hardcore guys. When you bring we love the old school hardcore guys. Here you go. This guy is not on social media, doesn't do interviews. What's up? I got Keith Burkhart from Cause for Alarm coming on the show. Wasn't easy. He's a fan of the show. That's one great thing about this show is there's a lot of lurkers out there, and I see you out there lurking, and I appreciate you lurking. I even appreciate the lurkers out there. So Keith has chimed in a couple times. Keith is a fan of the show. I reached out and we got Keith on the show. This is awesome. This is a New York hardcore OG right here. So this is a show that's going to be rich in New York hardcore folklore and history. So there you go on that. Also, got to mention, being I'm doing a show here, and this is what enables me to do the show. There is a Patreon page. Yes, there is a Patreon page. I want to shout out my new patrons, Cody Schreffer, Jason Kukin, Paul Rowland, Nick, John McHugh, Danny Cavazzi, Meredith Bain, and Anthony Green. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for being a patron on Patreon. Everybody else, all you lurkers, don't be shy. Please support the show. That's how we are able to do this. It doesn't magically happen. I don't wave a magic wand. You are under my spell, all you lurkers. You will get on the internet. You will get on Patreon, and you will join. There's a $2 tier, a $5 tier, a $10 tier. There's 96 tiers. All kinds of cool stuff I post on the Patreon page. What have I put on the list? Oh, we do Patreon only shows. It's a community within the community. It's how we communicate with each other. We talk about who we want on the show and that whole bit. So please, listen, you think I like to get on here and go on about, and hustle for money and shit like that? Believe me, I don't. But it's part of the gig. It's what I got to do. All right? Help me help you. Great show today as always. Thank you. Question mark, and the Patreons. I'm going to cry, 96 tears. Yeah, man. I am a wizard. That's right. I am a wizard. I am Gandorf. I Yep. Send your gelt. That's right. Good word. Good Yiddish word. Gelt. Show me the gelt. Join the madness. There you go. What else? A couple Patreon shows. I just put up an alternate take of the take video. Bunch of other stuff that's never been seen. Also, if you don't know, there is a PayPal page for those that can't wrap their head around the statistical density and conceptual continuity of Patreon. There is a PayPal page. So there you go. Please support the show. What can I say? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Take my clothes off? Prostitute myself? I am prostituting myself for the most part. Hey, dude, it's Garth. Garth, it's dude. Garth, Garth, formerly of the Steel Empire, grew up in the Upper West Side. Love you, bro. Nice to hear from you. Orange is the new Rat Bones. Yep, good one. There you go. What else? I think I'm covering everything here. You see the shows that are coming up. Toby's on next, then John Connor from Dog Eat Dog, then AC Slade, Walter Schreifels for the 75th show, Martin Atkins, Public Image, Ministry, etc. David Lass from El Nino, and then Wednesday, November 18th, Keith Burkhart from Cause for Alarm. Also, one last time here, I know you're wondering, how can I get this item? This item is so dope. How can I get this? This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles shower curtain Put your naked body in the shower and cover it with the New York Hardcore Chronicles shower curtain. I'm going to put the link in the chat room again. Here you go. Here's the link. Lancelot link, Secret Chimp. Here we go. There's the link for the New York Hardcore Chronicles live merch. So there you go. The holidays are coming up. Take your yarmulke off. Buy some merch for your loved one. I got some new merch stuff cooking. We're gonna launch it next week. Is Danny Lilker coming back? Yo, Danny Lilker's always coming back. We love Danny Lilker. You know, waiting for your shower curtain, Big Steen, huh? Okay, good. There you go. Oh yes, super chat. I forgot about that. We're doing the super chat. If anybody wants to shout somebody out, I'm just trying to get a handle on the super chat thing. Super chat is in effect on the side there. If it's somebody's birthday, you want to shout somebody out, please check out the super chat feature. That said, let's ask our guest Jessica some questions, please. Everybody out there, I know some of you friggin' idiots in Europe forgot that the clocks went back or forward. They went back, right? And people are chiming in now, like, the show's been on? Yeah, the show's been on. They turned the clocks back. What do you want me to do? Come over there and set the clocks for you? Come on. There you go. So welcome everybody in Europe that don't know what time it is. You're always welcome here. So, oh, you didn't in Norway? So anyway, questions for Jessica, please. Let's do some questions. There's the Patreon page. Let's clear the deck. Hold on. What the heck? Let's clear the deck. On this Sunday. Afternoon to most, evening for the others. So here we go. Let's bring our guest back on.
Questions time.
Hi.
Hi, I'm waving my magic wand, Drew.
Oh, is that your boyfriend you're talking to?
Yeah, he just walked in the door.
Hey, bro, you got to come on my show one of these days, man. Don't be scared. I know you're not a New York. I know you're not a New York hardcore dude, but we'll take it easy on you, bro.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie, smoky. Hey, I'm giving you yours, bro. You're a great drummer. Absolutely, fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean that, man. I was watching some of your stuff today. So this is the picture of the two of yous, huh?
So romantic. Where's the cutest? Aren't we the cutest?
What a couple. What a couple you guys are, huh?
Yes, very lucky, very happy.
Hey, I know he's off camera, but can I ask him a question?
I don't know. Can he ask you a question?
Of course. You know, being a Jewish kid from New York, Meshuggah, is that derived from Meshuggah?
Yes.
It is, really?
Yeah, it's kind of from the same thing. I guess they used to spell it different or whatever.
Wow, that's crazy. You know, growing up in a Jewish household, my grandparents in Brooklyn, you know, on Ocean Parkway, spoke Yiddish. So Meshuggah, what are you, a Meshuggah? Get out of here!
Crazy.
Get out of here, you Meshuggah. So
Yep.
Interesting. You guys gravitated to that for a band name, you know?
Yeah, we're not Jewish by any
Well,
way, shape, or
I
form.
kind of figured that, my friend. Hey, but listen, we'll cut you slack anyway, and we love your girlfriend, bro. So thank you for letting us borrow some time with her.
She's okay.
All right, cool. Here we go. Let me see. What do we got here? Everybody's going, wow, outstanding drummer. Okay, Jess, what is something that Americans can learn from Swedish culture?
That's a great question. Swedish culture has this one word that I love. One of the first words that I learned when I got here is called lagom. Right? Am I saying it right, baby? Lagom, which means not too much, not too little, just the right amount. And everything in Sweden tends to be very lagom. So you don't like, you know, like we go to Costco and we get like this like 80 gallon jar of mayonnaise. They get the nice like 2-ounce jar of mayonnaise. That's all you need. It's logum. That's all you need. Just enough. Not too little, not too much. So I think that's a really great, really Swedish thing that we can all adapt, because we're just so like, you know, Americans are so like consumeristic, and everything's got to be like super size, extra large, you know.
Absolutely. In America here, they kind of push the whole like, what is it? Costco, like go and buy gigantic everything, and there's
gigantic everything that you'll never use. You don't even need that much.
And there's gonna be a zombie apocalypse. You have to hoard everything and have just in case, you know.
Exactly. None of that happened here during the pandemic. There was no hoarding. There was no freaking out. Everyone was very long.
Here's a question from our friend Lenny out in Queens from Crazy Eddie. Do the Swedes feel that IKEA furniture is just as shitty as we do?
No, because there's different levels of IKEA.
Oh.
And the US has not unlocked the high-end IKEA shit yet. You got to earn that, man. You got to earn that. Once you have enough Allen keys saved up and enough extra parts saved up that you can build your own furniture from scratch that you didn't even buy, that's when you unlock the next level Swedish IKEA stuff.
I see. So we just get the crappy shit here in New York.
Exactly.
Yes, May. She's in Sweden. Yes, because May, you didn't set your clock back, right? Yeah. Yep, Sweden. What's the weather like? It's a personal question. What's the weather like right now in Sweden? Is it
right now? It's beautiful fall day. It's nice and a little bit damp, a little bit chilly. It's in the 40s right now, and leaves are turning. It's gorgeous. Pumpkins and fires and tea and nice sweaters. Snicktröjan.
Got it. Here's one, Jessica, and this sort of segues into a question that I had. Jessica, are you down with the Orishas? Do you have a spiritual practice?
That's a great question. I do have spiritual practice, and for the most part, I practice Tibetan Buddhism, and I've been doing that the majority of my life now. I got into it in about 93, 94, and I met my teacher in 97, and I took my first vows in 98. So that's my main practice, but I'm aware of all the other spiritualities out there. Native American culture is part of my upbringing as well. And I'm also from the Dominican Republic, so that's also involved in our culture, but my main practice is Tibetan Buddhism.
Okay, good. Fantastic. Where did I see, I got it. Where is our friend Brendan from SFA, our old friend Brendan from SFA?
Brendan.
Jess, what is it about drummers? Is it a rhythm thing?
Ay. That's a great question. Brendan knows me many years. I always make the mistake, There's two things in every room that I can find, and that's the most expensive thing and the drummer, without a doubt. But I don't know what it is. I have no idea, Brendan. But I'm very lucky. I'm a very lucky lady.
Well, you seem like you're very happy over there.
Extremely happy. I didn't know how we were going to make it through as a couple, and this uncertainty and everything if we were thousands of miles apart. I mean, we're used to being apart back and forth because he has tours or I have work and he can't come in and I can't come in. But right now I'm a legal resident of Sweden, and I just made that border closing, and we couldn't be happier to be together. It would have been way too hard. It would have been terrible. I feel for any couples that are apart right now.
Gotcha. Philip Oakley says, and we haven't touched on this, which is nice. How did you team up with Brujeria?
Great question. Long time listener, long time fan. I just got approached. Actually, Brujo and I met several years back. First of all, in Webster Hall. They played at Webster Hall. I'm trying to remember the year, but it was quite some time ago. So we met then, and then we met again at Gramercy Theater. They played again, and Monty Connor introduced us. And Monty told them that I was a singer, and I think at that point they had a bruja who kind of went MIA, and they needed one, and Brujo knew that I was a singer and invited me to join them. and that's it. The rest is history.
I
And
saw
we're
that- I
working
saw
on
that-
new stuff right now. Go
I
ahead.
saw that Irving Plaza show.
Oh yeah, that was my first show. No rehearsal. One short sound check, and that's it. Like, talk about like thrown into the deep end. We had no rehearsals together. We just did one sound check of half a song, and it was like go time. But I'd seen them already so long, like I felt like I knew what to do. I felt like I knew the set well enough. And then this is my second show was in Virginia. Their van had broken down. The bus had broken down. They were traveling in crappy vans, and then finally it said a couple days later to join them in Virginia. Of course, it was brujeria. Like, everything that could go wrong went wrong.
It's supposed to, right? It's Juan Brujo. It's supposed to.
We have a joke whenever something breaks or whatever. You say, "Esto es brujeria." That's it. This is what it is. You know, I remember landing in the airport and somebody goes, because you see, you know, the suitcases coming down the conveyor belt, and there's one that's just coming down like a shoe or a brush, a t-shirt. I was like, that's mine. It's got to be the beginning. We're on to something. And of course, you know, we're in Virginia, do a great sound check. I feel happy. I'm with the guys. We're finally gonna do a show, and Pincha Peach gets food poisoning, the most disastrous, volatile, projectile food poisoning in every direction. So then I had to be like Pincha Peach's part also that day, which was it's this brujeria, man.
And we have a new feature on the show today. We're going to do it. It's called Chucky Brown's Question of the Day.
Hey, Chucky Brown.
This is our boy Chucky Brown, who sings for Crazy Eddie. We're going to bring him. We're going to do Question of the Day with him. His question today is: on the Orange is the New Black series, actress vocalist Annie Golden plays mute Norma Romano on the show. She was also the vocalist for the late 70s punk band The Shirts. I did not know that. Did you ever get to chill with her offset or talk about this stuff?
Not really. We never, you know, because the show was kind of so segregated into, you know, I was in Spanish Harlem, so most of my scenes are with the Latinas. But I did know of Annie. I have seen her hot pictures of her performing in the 70s and 80s at CB's, and she did do a couple of shows herself as a singer during that time. But we didn't really. I mean, I can't reminisce with her. She's a legend. She's legendary. So yeah, but knowing that she had been such a huge part of the New York scene, that punk rock up and coming, you know, scene was a blast.
So when you shoot the show, when you shot the show, when you say it was segregated, basically your scenes were like most of the scenes that you were in, you interacted with kind of like a certain clique of gals, and it was rare that you really interacted with like some of the other characters on the show.
Yeah, I mean, to do one of our little, let's say 30-minute, 40-minute episodes might take 2 weeks, you know, take up to 14 days. Sometimes it took 3 weeks for longer ones. And the way you get that done is by doing it the most efficiently as possible. Also, the way it was set up in the show was that we were the Latinas were a clique, and then there was the Harlem clique and Spanish Harlem clique and the white girls and the lovers, and then there was outside of jail, there was the you know, the warden scenes and the CO scenes. So they're kind of all shot together. So it's very rare that we would get to interact too much, except for, I'm sorry if you haven't seen it yet, when there was a takeover of the prison. Then everything was just up in the air. And that was the first time I realized that the show was actually quite funny, because I had never had any funny scenes. But I was with two of the girls who are meth heads, and they're constantly cracking jokes, and freaking hilarious. I was dying every day. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are in a comedy. That's not fair. I've been crying for 6 years, like every day.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that about filmmaking, which is understandable. People, I mean, there's a contingent of people, like I said, it's understandable, but people think that like films and shows like that are like shot chronologically.
Continuously, yeah, no, impossible.
The way they do it is they bunch up everything, you know, here's everything that deals with this set of characters, and you know, sometimes an ending gets shot first, and that's especially
we were the largest cast in all of the world.
Yeah.
You know, unless you count Game of Thrones, including their extras, we had at one point the largest cast on all of television. So trying to organize all those schedules and all those people and people that were, if you're not bound to the show, you can do other work. So trying to make sure they can work the days that we need them to work. So it was a scheduling nightmare a lot of the times. So they would just say, you know, these 3 days are ours. That's it. And they would just get you in there. But talking about, you know, chronological order, one of my favorite, like, not chronological things that ever happened to me. It was my first time in a huge movie, you know, with John Singleton. I'm flying to Puerto Rico to shoot my first scene, and the plane is late and everything is late as usual, and everyone is waiting for me to arrive. I go straight from the airport to a hospital to pretend to give birth to a baby, and that's how I introduced myself. Like, hi everybody, I'm Jessica. It's time to, okay, 1, 2, 3, push. And that was my first day of work.
Oh God, that's intense, man. I you know, you often wonder about that, like, you know, when you kind of get thrown into the breach right away, and like, here's your first scene, you have to make out with this person, you know.
Yep. Here you go, you got to do it. There you go. 1, 2, 3, jump.
You know, it's like, and you know what I was thinking about today? It was interesting. I have a couple friends that are actors and actresses, and a couple of them are actresses, and they show up in parts, and they shall remain nameless for now, but I'll see a part and there'll be like a nudity scene, and I'll be like, oh my, like, I don't know if I should be, I don't know if I should be looking at this. It's like, you know, this is a friend of my, you know, my friend naked, like, I don't know. You know?
I mean, I have a pretty strong rule about that. I mean, I'm still someone that cares, like, what my Titi Ruti thinks. You know, is this something that Titi Ruti would be proud of me for doing? And I'm not saying that that's my end all and be all in decision making. Sometimes there are scenes that have nudity, or I've been in a play where I had to take my top off, but it was something that furthered the story along, and it was done tastefully. Right. So at this point, like, we have nudity clauses where we can negotiate how much we're willing to show. You know, it's like some people there do the full frontal for nothing. They're just like totally naked, pouring water in Game of Thrones in a fountain, you know, and that's like not for me. But there are some scenes that are great. I mean, I just watched one in Lovecraft Country. Is it Lovecraft Country or the Lovecraft show? Where it's a really like sexy out there scene, and as they're making love, someone starts melting. Sorry for the spoilers, but it's like, whoa, mind blown situation that you would really have to consider, you know, letting go of that nudity clause to do something like that, because it was just so insane.
Well, I think that like HBO and Showtime, it's sort of like, since they can get away with it, I mean, since it's accepted, that it's like gratuitous. Like we're watching Ray Donovan, and it's like every time they introduce a new actress, you know, I'd say, you know, to the person I'm like, you know, can't wait to see her with her top off. You know what I mean? And it's like constantly, you know.
I mean, even Shameless, the show, the American Shameless, which I totally loved. I just felt like every week, and there's only 2 main girls, you know. Every week you're gonna see one or both of them topless for no freaking. They're like, you know, I gotta take a shower. Here we go. Do we have any laundry detergent? Here's my boobs. Like every week, it got boring. It's so boring at that point.
Well, you know, we're Americans. You know, we're American, and I could speak for the American guys here. You know, as the spokesman for the American guys, hey, we love boobs, right? So if you're gonna show us boobs, we're like, wow, tits. You know, it's like so. That's why they sort of feed us this piecemeal. Lori Dawn Ceramics says, Hive Mentality from Brick by Brick is a great song featuring a guest spot with Jessica. Any more collabs in the works?
In the works? No, nothing new in the works. We are working on new material though for all the bands I'm in. So that's going to be coming out eventually. I don't know when. We've been working on one album for several months at this point, but just new music coming when it gets here, I guess. Yeah. I'm not putting any promises or dates on this year until this year's over, you know?
Right. Hey, I love, let's talk about this a little bit. History of the band. I could tell this is say Vitus here, you know?
Yeah.
This is Alakeen's gun, correct?
Yes.
Um, give us a little bit of the history of the band, and that's something we haven't touched on yet.
Great, Alekeen's Gun. That started with I had not been playing music for a very long time. My last band that I was in was Everybody Gets Hurt. And then I stopped playing music. I started focusing on other things, focusing on acting, and just kind of like restarting a new life, kind of thing. And I worked in a bar. I had a DJ every week, and he's like, "Hey, I heard you sing, because I'm in a band. We're looking for a singer, and are you good?" I'm like, "Look me up, bro." And and he came back the next week with some music that Jeff Martinez and Leo Mate had been working on, and I really loved it. It was something different. We all come from the hardcore scene, but we all love metal too, and so it was like this nice combination of metal and hardcore. Some parts were thrashy, some parts were black metal. It was just like a mix of everything that I was feeling and into at the time. So the three of us started this working together from that point on, and we've had several configurations over the years, like every band except for Meshuggah. Several configurations.
Hey, the Swedish guys hold it together, huh?
Yeah, those Swedish people, no joke. But yeah, that's our Pantene commercial, one of them. And and it was great to kind of like get back to music, because I didn't know why I'd stopped. And I think maybe some of it was just like feeling like maybe it was time to move on from that part of my life. But it was something that was missing from my life, that I could still enjoy playing music and playing shows and playing out. And it's something that's fulfilling, and it's something that's enriching in life. And I being a Buddhist, as I said earlier, decided that I could use whatever I do, no matter what I do, if it's being a waitress or being in a band, to further my practice. So I write a lot of the lyrics for Alekeen's Gun based on Tibetan meditations and Buddhist scripture, kind of in a sneaky way, and of course personal experience as well. So Jeff and I and Leo, we write the guitar parts together. We, switch who's recording what sometimes. The last two songs we put on, it was Leo and Jeff on guitar. Before that, it was me and Jeff on guitar. And that's it. Alekeen's Gun. That's
cool.
The story. So it's really just for me. If you see that first picture you put on, for me, it's a spiritual practice. It's a meditation. It's an offering, and it's like bringing in people that feel the way I have felt in my life.
I wanted to ask you, just I know the answer, but the name Alekeen's Gun. What is the origin of it?
Alexander Alekin Alexandrovich, a great Russian chess player who discovered this move. The Alekeen's Gun is a queen flanked by two rooks, and once you're in this position, you can't lose. Basically, you're gonna die. So it's like a position of power. And because it was the three of us starting something new that like none of us had really done before, this kind of hybrid thing, we felt like we were very just excited, very strong about it. And Leo at the time was working in a chess shop, so it was also kind of fitting. He was working at, I think, Tompkins chess shop, so it was just kind of all just made sense. Like the three of us were gonna take it together, and just when things fit, they just fit because it's so weird of a name. Like it's such a dorky, like it's named after chess.
No, it's cool.
It meant a little bit more to us than that.
It's great. Our friend Bryant Asensio. Bryant, excuse me. Bryant. Jess, is there a Latino community in Sweden?
There is. It's quite small, though. It's not what you would expect. It's a lot of Chileans whose parents were escaping, some rough times there with their dictatorships happening. So a lot of the Chileans are born here, just like maybe you have Puerto Ricans whose grandparents came over. So you're two generations in. So now they're like one generation in.
Makes sense.
So it's happening. They're opening like Mexican stores everywhere. And I think I'll be able to get Café Bustelo soon. I found out where the Plátanos are hidden is one store in the middle of town in Taubi Centrum. I'm going to go there. They have Goya products. Apparently I hear rumors of this. Adobo is there.
Yeah, I'm
exciting times.
You know, get that boyfriend of yours with the program. You know. Hey, you know, I like this picture. Very glamorous. This is, you know, I always have to put up. I got to get all the pictures up, but you know, very glamorous here.
I'm scared. Oh, yeah, Screen Actors Guild. That was a great day.
Yeah. Yep. That's cool. Yep.
Get you a girl that can do both.
Listen, you know, absolutely.
From that first picture sitting in St. Vitus, Florida, that who knew? What a mess. What a mess.
There you go. Let me we're heading down the home stretch. Let me bring on our guys and let me see what they have to say. Sid, Steven, how you guys doing?
Good.
Chilling.
Hey, everybody. Hey. How you doing?
Steven, you got anything for Jess, Steven?
Nah, I'm enjoying the stories and just you know, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. It was a great chat. I was so worried. I was so nervous, but you guys are great.
People, I love that.
Hollywood, you can't be nervous.
Listen, you guys have known me since I'm like 12 years old. I don't know what you remember and what I forgot.
Remember that time?
No.
Her boyfriend's standing right behind her. You know? Yeah. Oh, Larry the Hunter says, I saw everyone gets hurt in Japan. Not many can say that.
Wow.
There you go, Larry.
You
That
did
was
that
a great
before, right?
time. And it was such a shock to see people from New York and Japan when you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? It was great. That was like right after Murphy's Law had just finished.
Well, he was over there with Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
Yep. So
That was a great time. Miss you, man.
yeah. Sid, you got anything for Jess?
Oh, there we go.
Honestly, just for knowing you for so long and how you've grown as a person and just being from where you are to now, like, you know, I'm really proud of you, Jess.
Oh, thanks, Sid. You sweetheart. I'm proud of you too, man.
But see, as I said before, New Yorkers grind harder. I'll say it. We grind harder than every other motherfucker on the planet.
Oh, boy.
I started.
Can't stop, won't stop.
And we're going to finish it.
Can't stop, won't stop.
I like when Sid starts flexing, like, you know.
Then you know he's getting into the conversation. He means it. He's starting.
We grind harder than anybody. These motherfuckers, like, oh God. All right.
Because we have to. It's in the water. We can't help it.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll never forget when my 6-year-old niece pulls out a little thing. I'm like, oh, when are we gonna get together for dinner? And she says, let me check my schedule. And she pulls out a little. And she actually had a schedule because she had violin lessons and, you know, Thai boxing and ballet and all that. You know, these kids, we start young. Little 7-year-olds stressed out because they're going to miss the train.
Chucky Brown, are good. You know, we got the great Chucky Brown. Boom. Another question from Chucky Brown or statement from Chucky Brown. She played with Everybody Gets Hurt at the Black and Blue Bowl 2015 in Webster Hall.
Yes, I did.
I was there for that too.
I was there. It was an awesome show. And I immediately got on a plane and came to Sweden right after that show. I did not sleep.
Well,
did not sleep. Nobody sleeps at Black and Blue Bowl. Nobody.
Right.
For a whole week.
Yeah, that
it's
whole
the
week.
never-ending family reunion. Like a month later, people still on your couch.
Starts from Thursday and ends basically on Tuesday, Wednesday.
There you go. All right. Hey, Sid, thanks. And I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you. You're doing a great job.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Nice to see you, Sid.
Thank you, Steven.
Thank you.
Bye, Steven. Nice to see you, man.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Well, that was fun.
Just the two of us.
Oh, we can make it
if we try.
Well, you know, we covered a lot. And thank you so much for coming on the show. Anybody you want?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Behave yourself in Sweden.
Absolutely not.
I'm sure you're traumatizing this Swedish guy, you know.
On the daily.
Listen, I saw some footage of him playing today. Yo, tell me, dude's got great feet. He's got good feet, that guy.
He's got great everything. But that's enough. That's enough for your ears.
Yeah, right. That's great. I'm really really happy for you, hon. I'm glad you're over there and you're with someone that you care about, and all the best for you, Jess.
Yeah, likewise. And everyone out there, this is a crazy time, and really like put things into perspective. We're all going through a rough time together, but we're going to get through it. Things will change, things pass. Just remember your family, remember your friends, remember what's really important, and remember like tomorrow's not promised. So do the best you can to be the best you can today, and everything's going to be okay. And if it's not, it's not. You just deal with it. You'll be all right.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's keep in touch, and I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the questions. Bye.
Take care. Well, there you go. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, your core hardcore fan page. Also, shouting out our boys at Pitchfork, our people over at Fryette and Sound City. There you go. Thank you, Chucky Brown, for the questions. Looking forward to more in the future. Also, of course, Sid the Kid. Want to shout out Rat Bones, and of course, Stephen Messina, the Hardcore Shutterbug. That said, great show, a lot of fun. Next up is Toby on Wednesday. I think covered a lot of other stuff. You know where to find the merch. I'll throw it in there one more time. Some other merch coming up soon. Oh, yes. If you're watching the show in rerun, please subscribe to the Stone Films NYC YouTube channel. Very important. Please subscribe to the Stone Films NYC YouTube channel. The button is right there. Subscribe so you get an alert when we announce a new show and that type of thing. What else? No, I think we're good. I think we covered a lot here. I know you're wondering what's going on outside my window right now. Let's take a peek. I am too. Here it is. Life outside Drew Stone's window. Everything looks okay. Doesn't look like there's any riots happening on West 86th Street. For those that are wondering, that is Riverside Park. Yes, there are multiple parks here in New York City. I live right on Riverside Park. So that is life outside my window. Just so you know. Steen, thank you. I hope you're well in Denmark. We'll see you soon. May, take care of yourself in London. What else? Join us. Yep, go check out the new Enziguri video Rat Race right here on YouTube. Great show. Very interesting. Thank you all. That said, I will see you in a couple of days. Do good things and good things will come to you.